Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. Now recently I was really fortunate that I was sent an ARC of The Lost Village by Neil Spring, which I have read and enjoyed, so this is my review of that book. The reason that I requested this book was that it had some links to a village called Imber, and that is a village that I know relatively well. I mean, I know of it, it's relatively local to where I live. That idea appealed to me immediately. And then Neil Spring actually is going to Salisbury Literary Festival, where I'm going in a couple of weeks and doing a talk. I don't think that I'm going to be able to go and see his talk, but that sort of had raised his profile with me. So I was really excited when this came in the post, and I started it the day that it arrived. So the basic premise is it takes a real village called Imber, where seemingly the story is that one day soldiers went in and kicked all the inhabitants out. They were forced to leave the village. They then used it for training the army, seriously, and they were never allowed to go back. And that is, from what I understand, a true story. Neil Spring has taken that and then created a fictional story around it. So Neil Spring sets this kind of fictional story where things start to go wrong, and they get this famous ghost hunter and his former assistant come in and see what on earth's going on, what paranormal activity is happening here. And that was a really cool idea, and actually perfect for an October read. Perfect. So right from the get-go I want to say that I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars in total, and I think that it just does exactly what it says on the tin. It's kind of the perfect creepy read, but I think it also appealed to me because of the Imber element. There's sort of a link to my personal life which made the story more appealing to me. Because it talks of sort of ghosts and creepy paranormal things, there is a definite creep factor about it, but even before it gets to that, the writing is written in such a way that it's designed to creep you out. So when I was sitting at home reading on my own, it definitely had the creepy factor, definitely. I was also delighted to discover that this is actually part of a series of books, and I'd be quite intrigued to read the rest of them. But what I really liked was that wasn't sort of apparent and in your face as you were reading. There were really subtle clues where I went, oh, maybe there's a book that came before this. But they were quite subtle. They didn't affect your understanding of this story at all, and it didn't sort of feel the need to retell things. It just there were a couple of hints that something had happened. These guys had a history that I assumed was in a prior book, and that there was a future, which I assume will be in following books. So I thought that was quite cool, and I think I would perhaps be interested in picking them up, although I'm not massively into ghost stories, so we'll see. As I've said, I'm not a massive fan of ghost stories and creepy stuff, and especially not ghosty stuff, because, you know, I'm a massive cynic. So I suppose part of what appealed to me about this book is that one of the main characters is a complete and utter cynic, and one of the main characters is completely absorbed by all the sort of paranormal stuff. And I think that as I was able to see myself in it, that helped. I think often when you're reading a ghost story and it's all the characters are wholeheartedly believing in the ghosts, I can find it hard to get into that. Whereas to see basically somebody trying to disprove it made it feel more believable to me, even though it's fiction. I hope that makes sense, because I don't feel like it does. So to summarise, this is a cracking October read. It's a cracking sort of creepy ghost story with a twist. I think it's because it's got that cynical character, and it's not necessarily about ghosts as much as it's about disproving ghosts, or that whole sort of hunt to find out whether they are real or not. I really like the Imber theme, that was a real place with a truly creepy story in itself, and I think that really appealed to me. I do recommend this if you like a good creepy story. I think you'll enjoy it, and yeah, let me know if you've read it and what you've thought. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.